kingdom, we have no fear. The wind's direction is drawing near.
Shalom, Most High Christ bless. I'm Sis Jazz from the House of Captain Yohanathan, and we're back with another video. Today we'll be talking about staying humble while being great. Now we'll be really just going over, achieving greatness, how to maintain a spirit of humility while growing and elevating in this truth. But before we get into the video, I do want to say, if you're new to the channel, welcome. We're so glad to have you. But if you're a regular here, welcome back. We miss you. Now, the title of the video is Do Great, Stay Humble. I feel like that sums up this video so well. Pretty much what we'll be going over. I feel like this really sums it up. And it really just cuts straight to it. Do great, stay humble. That's it. You know what I mean? So of course we're gonna go into the definitions of humble first. I always like to go into the definitions so we can really understand what we're talking about instead of it just being like someone's opinion and things like that. So I have two definitions here for humble. One is the Google definition and one is the Merriam-Webster. The first one is Google, which says having or showing a modest or low esteem of one's own importance. I love that because we're definitely going to be talking about that later on. Okay, and then Merriam-Webster, the definition 2 says not proud or haughty, not arrogant or assertive. I love that part where it says haughty because in our history we were given the curses because we were stiff-necked and haughty, right? The DOS, us daughters of Sarah, we were stiff-necked and haughty. So showing that we are not to be proud, we are not to be haughty, we are to maintain a spirit of humility. So let's get into it. Now, we should always be striving to do great. We should always be striving to succeed, whether that be for this truth, whether that be for school, for work, personal goals, at home. We should always be moving and operating with excellence, right? Colossians chapter 3 verse 23 says, and whatsoever ye do, do it heartily, as to the Lord and not unto men. So that pretty much means just do your best and make sure everything you're doing is not for the applause of men, not for someone to see you and, say you're doing a good job. Does that mean that you should never want appreciation or recognition for the good you do? No, that's not what it means. But it's the thought behind what you're doing. You know if you're doing something heartedly or if you're doing it out of the spirit of vainglory, right? As we grow and we achieve things and we elevate and we get more responsibilities, we have to be careful and we have to start being very diligent in making sure we are staying humble. We are maintaining a humble spirit, because success without humility becomes pride. It becomes, oh, everyone's looking at me, I love this. And I feel like it's another video about this. I think it was a video I did, but I'm sure there's others. But it was talking about putting your bricks in, this video right here. And we kind of went over that part, like how to maintain a humble spirit and how to move when you're putting your bricks in, what type of spirit you should be in when you're putting your bricks in. So that really goes into it, like the spirit you should be moving in when you're putting in your bricks. So that it should be right there. It should be. I don't know if it's going to be, but it should be. The thumbnail should be right there. And the link will be in the description. But the spirit of pride is very dangerous, right? So James chapter 4 verse 10 says, humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. So that reveals that real elevation comes from the Most High, right? And if you want anything to work, if you want the Most High to bless you through anything, you must come humble. You must come with utmost humility, right? Being humble does not mean you have to hide or be, timid about your accomplishments, or, kind of discard your accomplishments and your success and your elevation and, kind of act like they're small. They're not small. You should always rejoice over the elevation and the blessings that the Most High have given you. But being humble means to just stay grounded, for lack of a better word. Stay in the spirit. And when I say staying in the spirit, I mean making sure you're giving praise to the Most High for all the things that He's allowed you to accomplish, that He's allowed you to go through and come out of it better. You should always give praise to the Most High for that. So you should never be sitting there like, oh, I'm that girl. Yep, I'm that girl. You know what I mean? I made it through this. I got to do this. I was added to this team. Oh, I was put over the head sister. And like, no, that should not be how you feel about stuff. You should always be in everything heartedly and with the humble spirit. Like, oh, wow, it's just amazing that I'm able to do this and I can be a part of this, especially for things in this truth. Always, you should always do things cheerfully, heartedly, and with a humble spirit. Never be prideful with anything you're doing for this truth. Now, you can still be proud of what you've done and who you are becoming and where you're at now, and still walk in humility. Just for example, being proud of yourself, but being humble sounds like, I thank the Most High for what He's allowed to happen in my life. Oh my gosh, I just want to really thank my parents. Oh my goodness, this is so amazing that say what happened to me. All praise to the Most High. That is what humility and still being proud sounds like. But if you're proud and it's just proud, you're like, oh my gosh, look what I did. Like, I can't believe it. Oh my gosh, yes, I did that. You're like in everyone's face trying to show everybody. Listen, a YDOS that's in the spirit, a DOS that's in the spirit, she's going to let her works talk for her. She's not going to talk about her works all the time. Her works are going to talk for her to where she's not going to need to boast. She's not going to need to do that. Her works talk for her. And one thing that we definitely have to learn, especially growing up in this truth, we need to learn that we are to succeed silently. Silent success, okay? That is the spirit of humility. You should not be going around telling everybody your accomplishments and, oh yeah, I just did this, oh, this just happened. That is not humble. It's not discreet. It's not modest. So let your work speak for you. Don't always have to speak about your works, okay? Proverbs chapter 27 verse 2 says, let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth, a stranger, and not thine own lips. So humility will let your works, your bricks speak for themselves. Someone else will see what you're doing, putting in that work, and they'll be like, that sis is on it. Sis, you on it. You in the spirit. Sis, you alright. You alright. You are alright. Okay? You don't always have to speak about your works. Especially if you have them, your works will speak for you. Your accomplishments will speak for you, okay? Humble woman, she's going to be kind in her words. She's going to be gentle in her words. And when she speaks about her accomplishments, it's not going to put someone else down. Now, if someone's just out the spirit and they're envious of you, that's different. But I mean, when you are talking about your accomplishments with your friends, with that group that you feel comfortable talking about your accomplishments with, who it's appropriate to talk about your accomplishments with, though it won't come off as you're trying to boast yourself above them, right? It should always be, y'all are celebrating together. So you should never be saying anything to where it makes someone else feel like they're less than. That is you boasting. That's not you being, grateful, and that's not you being proud of yourself and you sharing it with your friends. That's you being boastful, okay? And I do strongly encourage, if you have friends, if you have those people in your circle, if you feel comfortable, do share those things, because I know that for me personally, my friends, when we talk about school, when we talk about certain things, and I hear them, they're like, yeah, I'm struggling, but we're like 2 years, we got 2 years left, and we finna be graduating. Like, that encourages me, and I'm like, we're almost there, and it's just our own little community where we like happy with each other, and we're like celebrating each other's success. So it's good to celebrate each other's success and communicate with each other, with those friends that you feel comfortable with. That is a really good thing to do, and have that little community, that little group that you feel comfortable sharing certain things with, because it encourages one another. And you honestly don't know who could be feeling like they're giving up, or they feel like they ain't got it left in them, or they feel like they're the only one struggling, and that they can't make it out. But when you have that circle and you can talk about it, it's so much easier to like stay motivated. Like, okay, someone else is struggling, like my best friend's struggling, but she got it. And when you could tell your best friend that, you're like, your best friend could be like, girl, we were struggling, but we got it. It's okay. We're gonna make it through, right? So I would encourage, if you have people that you trust, you have people in your circle that your parents allow you to share those things with, I encourage you to just talk about it. Be like, sis, guess who just got their permit? Guess who just got their driver's license? Guess who just graduated? Guess who just got accepted to the school? Like, talk about that stuff, right? Like, especially if it could be encouraging to her, especially if she could be going through the same stages in life. It's very encouraging sometimes. Micah chapter 6 verse 8 says, He has shewed thee what is good, and what doeth the Lord require of thee, but to do it justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. So my YDOS, I'm saying do great, make big moves, move with excellence always. Always shine your light in anything you put your hands to. Always, okay? But always make sure you're maintaining that spirit of humility in it. No matter what you're doing, keep a spirit of humility, of meekness and kindness in it. Do it wholeheartedly, right? Make sure you're giving praise to the Most High. Never feel like you're the reason why things are going good in your life. Now, yes, you should be proud of yourself for you putting in the efforts and the work that you did, but this is all because of the Most High. And do not forget to give praise and to give thanks to your parents for allowing you to let certain things happen. You have parents and you have parent figures that have really helped you, and a lot of the success that you had in your life, make sure you're giving them praise. Make sure you're thanking them. But the quiet spirit is a strong character, okay? When you have that quiet spirit, it shows very strong character. So making sure you're staying humble while you're making big moves, while you're doing great, is key, okay? Especially while growing and exceeding in this truth. So stay encouraged and keep going. I love to always say, study, pray, and apply, and endure to the end. Mwah. Love you all.
They're coming for you, they're coming for me. A nation, a whole family. We know the word and what it says. Don't be afraid. They killed the prophets, destroyed the seers. From Greece to Babylon, now here. Across the bear, our load to share. We take it on.